You guys might have heard me mention the Temple of Chaos, but I haven't actually explained what it is. So let's talk about what the Temple of Chaos is. Let's talk about why I keep talking about it, and let's talk about what I hope to see it be in the future. The Temple of Chaos is something that I have been working on since 2021. So I have been behind the scenes trying to build this for a while, and there has been so many setbacks. There has been so many setbacks. There has been so many times where I have had to change plans. I've had to completely scrap things that I've been working on. And y'all, there's been so many times where I've literally cried to my husband, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Because running a business and starting a business is hard. And it's even harder when spirit has a lot of say and a lot of involvement in it. But here we are, 2024, stronger than ever. And let me tell you what we have and what is hopefully coming. Let me tell you the kind of brainchild behind the temple. Let me tell you the vision that keeps me driving forward. No matter how many times I scream I'm going to quit, no matter how many times I threaten spirit that I am not getting paid enough for this, no matter what, this is what keeps me coming back. It's a vision of a pagan-based temple. And let me set the scene for you. Let's say you're a brand new person. You kind of just, quote unquote, have woken up to spirits in general, and you believe, but you don't really know what you believe. And you're trying to find a place where you fit. You're trying to find examples of what other people believe, and you're trying to really develop your own understanding and your own existence of not only being a human, but of being a spirit in the universe. You're really starting to just kind of get mind melty and you want some help. And right before you start to freak out because you can feel your brain melting out of your ears, somebody recommends, hey, why don't you go check out the Temple of Chaos, right? And so hopefully we have a branch, a chapter near you, and you go to your local Temple of Chaos or even your local online community, and you kind of want to look and see what they're about and what they have to offer. I'm going to get to kind of the nitty gritty, the meat and grits of what the temple is about in a second, because I have all of that ready to pop up on the website, which will hopefully be up soon. But let's talk about what I'm hoping the temple can be in the future. So I'm hoping that when you stumble upon the Temple of Chaos, you are offered so many opportunities. One of the core tenets of the Temple of Chaos is you do not have to be a quote unquote member to participate. There may be some programs where membership under a certain path is required, which I will explain in a second. But overall, you do not have to be a member to participate. Every path is going to have offerings that are just open to the public, open to come and experience, open to enjoy, and open to connect, right? So we're a new person. We don't understand spirituality. We know it's probably maybe got some gods involved. We know there's some spirits involved. I know this temple that we can go to, they have a little bit of information on everything. So you go and you check it out. So you get to the temple, you get either online or you're in person, and you say, hey, can you tell me what I can do? Can you tell me what I can be a part of? I hope you can be a part of everything. I hope you can experience a little bit of everything. The goal is to have as many leaders as I can possibly trustworthily get together. I want to have leaders of every path. I want to have leaders of every sector. I want to have just information gurus. I'm going to workshop the names, but I just want to have people available and working within the temple that, hey, you have a question about the Norse gods. I have 3 Norse leaders. They all practice very different methods. You are welcome to go to all 3 of their services and see what they're about. You're welcome to go listen to them. Here's their social media handles. Here is all of their resources that they recommend. Here is mentorship programs with them. That's not for you. You want to know about fairies? Maybe we don't have a specific belief fairy system. Maybe we do. Who knows in the future? But here is this mentor that I have about fairies. Here is my resident fairy expert. They are available for conferences. They are giving classes about just general fairydom, fairy kingdoms, whatever, right? Naming. Again, I'm going to workshop it. But here's all this information. What is calling to you? What is speaking to you? What is interesting to you? Find something that you think is calling to you, that you can feel in your soul, that you can feel in your bones is calling to you. And if you don't know what that is, just start going and start experiencing and start seeing what it's like, seeing how other people live, not to be convinced on what you should believe, but to add to your toolbox in learning and discovering what it is you actually do believe. And so I want to have this space where the people who are seeking just general information, like, hey, where do I start? Somebody please point me in the right direction. I want to have so many resources for them. I want to have so many different styles of resources, so many different updated resources, so many different historical resources. Y'all, I want to get so nerdy and in depth with the resources, with what we offer. And at the same time, I want to be very mindful of confidentiality. I want to be very mindful of religious trauma, because that is a very big concern and a very legit thing that is happening and people are working through right now. So I want to be mindful of how I can foster an environment that is not just safe and not just confidential, but that allows authenticity within the practice, within the religion, within the belief. If I want to pray a certain way and do 5,000 hand motions before I pray, I want to have a safe space for that. I want everybody to fit in their own path simultaneously together as a community. And obviously, constructing something like this is not going to be done overnight. These grand plans that I have, it's going to take a lifetime of just building that community, of just making those connections and growing it as we go. So even if it is not something that I see in my lifetime, I want to so carefully and so consciously build this base, build this foundation for everything to grow off of, because I really do want to see this become just a way of life in the future where we exist more simultaneously with spirit, where we're not so separated and we can include it in more of our day-to-day life in a way that is, again, just so authentic to our human existence, whatever that looks like for you. Adding spirit back into our everyday life is a really big, like, foundational point of the whole temple. Like, why is the temple? What is the point of the temple? Why am I even doing all of this? And it is to pull spirit, to bring spirit back and to incorporate it into earth, into our everyday life in a way that I think is just more authentic. I think it's closer to how we were originally intended to live as humans. That's my personal belief. Again, I'm not in the business of telling you what to believe, but I think this is more how we were meant to exist with spirit simultaneously on earth. So the logo has 4 points to it, representing the 4 elements of earth, water, fire, and air. And then the middle square is spirit. And the way that it was shown is that this temple is uniting the 4 elements of earth with spirit and making them one again, and bringing spirit back down to earth and incorporating it in a way that I think it's so beautiful. I wish I could just vision you guys my vision, because it's one of the most amazing feelings that I have ever felt. It is worth noting that this is not the original logo that Spirit showed me. I'm going to show you something that is closer to the way Spirit showed me, which is this one is far better. Let's just put it that way. Deadly Daughter Designs helped me workshop it and bring it to life. They were amazing. We were back and forth, like, getting the details down. If you guys have work that you need, logo, digital artwork, whatever, check out Deadly Daughter Designs on Facebook. Look for the one with the logo, like here. Okay, if you look at this logo, this is closer to the way that Spirit had originally showed me in my brain. This one is already better than the way Spirit showed it to me. It's already just, like, aesthetically more pleasing. But the way Spirit showed it to me was literally that white box, and then off of that white box was those 4 lines with those little squiggles at the end. The white box was spirit, and each one of those 4 squiggly lines was a element from earth, a human earthly element. And it kind of just combines them all together. Spirit is really funny with the visuals for me. They really like just, like, 90s word graphic type situations. So I'm working with what they give me. Thank you to Deadly Daughter Designs for helping me get this, working with this logo to get it to the point it is now. Some other fun facts about the temple. There's our P.O. Box address in case you ever needed to send anything. We are veteran owned. There's me. I was really young. I joined out of high school. I blocked off my maiden name off my name tape. I talk about that sometimes. Military is a weird time. Military is a weird thing. We were registered. I registered us in 2021 in the state of Texas as a nonprofit, and that is when I registered for our federal tax ID. It wasn't until very recently, just within the last couple weeks, that we received the 501c3 federal nonprofit status. So I'm very, very excited. We are now getting the website up and going as quickly as possible. We're getting all of those nonprofit kind of applications for the benefits to come in, start applying to them soon, hopefully. And then we can really start moving forward in, like, a very legitimate nonprofit business type of way, which I am very, very excited about. I have some really big things I am working on, which is just not quite time to announce yet, but hopefully when it is time, it can just roll out beautifully, because I am just really trying to get all of the kinks out before it becomes a big public thing. Why did it take us so long to get the federal nonprofit? I'm so glad you asked. So I am doing the best that I can. I am not a tax expert. I am very confused when it comes to the IRS. Let's just leave it at that. I'm doing the absolute best I can. It took me a while to fundraise the money to put in the application. So I was doing classes, I was doing those expanding consciousness classes. All the money from my share of it was going directly to the Savings for the Temple to apply. I applied for the federal nonprofit late in 2023. It literally took almost a year to get my application approved. So there was some confusion with the way that I was applying. And so if you were to look us up, I didn't get some paperwork in on time, but we are completely reinstated. We are completely above board. Everything's good. Everything's cleared. We are now a federally registered 501c3 nonprofit. So hopefully you guys can forgive me my tax paperwork error. The lady who called me from the IRS to kind of walk me through everything was the absolute sweetest. I was so thankful for her. She walked me through everything multiple times. She even called to make sure that I had gotten the paperwork I needed and to make sure that everything was situated. So we're good now. That lady was phenomenal. Thank you so much to her at the IRS. I could not have done it without her. These are the guiding principles of the church, or the basic tenets of the temple, if you will. You can pause and read them. I think they're all extremely important. And I hope that if and when it comes my time to step away from the temple, I want these to still be the building blocks that the temple continues to expand on, that the temple continues to make sure we are coming back to, and make sure that everything is still being held to the same standard that I think is so important, and I think is what makes the temple unique in itself. And again, all of this should be up on the website very soon. It's templeofchaos.org. We do have a number of social media handles under the Temple of Chaos name, which if you happen to come across them, you will see the many things that I have tried and had to let go and workshop and redo. There's many test things on there, which I have left up because I think it's important to see how far we've come. And I think it's important to remember the lessons and not make the same mistakes, and to just really learn and grow from them. But I will get those social medias under control. I will get them updated soon. If you happen to come across them in the meantime, just know that I'm coming back to them. I'm not done yet. And last but certainly not least, we have our 3-part mission statement. And this is something that I have always felt very, very personal about, and that is the connection between the past and the present and the future. And so the first part represents the past. It represents anything that the community needs, anything that the temple can offer to individuals, to families, to the community as a whole. What can the temple do to really help heal, to help you learn, to help you grow, to help you experience, and to become the person that you want to be? What can the temple help you heal so that you can step into who you are, into your authenticity, and become who you want to be for the future? The second part of the mission represents the present. It represents this need for community, this need for coming together. And I think that we have really undervalued how important community is, how important togetherness is. And so it is very important to me that the temple puts effort in growing that community, be it community of your local physical area, be it a community within the temple, be it just a community within a specific pantheon. I really just want to encourage as much as possible every person finding their own community, finding where they fit, being able to celebrate the little things, being able to be supported. I think that it's not just important in moving forward for our future, but it's so important in how we heal as well. And the last part, of course, is the future part. And this is so important. And this is a really full circle moment for me. And I have recorded this part so many times because I have so much to say about it, and I keep going way off script. So instead, I'm just going to read to you what it says. The future is we strive to offer educational opportunities for both adults and children, as well as community support for families. And the reason being is that right now, the choices that we are making, you and I right now, are building the past of the future. The things that are happening right now are going to be the quote unquote past of the next generation by the time they become adults. So what can we offer them now? And how can we support ourselves now to give them the best past? Does that make sense? It's a really weird full circle moment. You can see why I had to re-record this so many times, but it is a very, very big deal to me. Everything is connected. And so right now, if we heal our past and we heal our present, we are literally healing the future. And I think that is so important in so many ways. Okay, so that is the 411 about the temple. That is what it's all about. That is where I hope to see it in the future. So right now, physical location wise, it is online based. Originally, my goal was to have a spot on my home, on the property that we have. it very quickly proved to me that this is not a safe location for pagan gatherings, or just pagans in general. So we are trying to move a little bit up north again. We're looking to move to PA, where hopefully we can set down a safe location, a safe plot of land where we can one day have an actual physical temple that we can go and hold gatherings and worship with. But until then, I am working really hard with my team to offer some online support and some online programs. So let me tell you what I have cooking. As far as the programs I got cooking up, it's another 3-part goal. So the first part is the mentorship part. I have a number of people that I lovingly call my mentees. I have been working with them for years. A number of them are getting ready, and a whole bunch of people that I am just meeting are also ready to step from this quote unquote mentee spot into a mentor spot. And so I'm really working on building base foundations of a mentorship program. I am putting so much time and effort and just general practice into it to work out as many kinks as possible, because I want this program, again, to be a foundational building block, something that can be grown on a large scale eventually. So very, very slowly, we are working on adding mentors to our program that you can sign up and have an official mentor. How crazy is that? If I had a place where I could get an official mentor when I was starting out, it would have been a game changer. So right now, the mentees are going to be people that I have both been mentoring for a while, or people that are coming into my path at the exact moment that they are ready to step into that mentor slot as well. So slowly building that up. I am not taking official applications yet, but I will have an official application coming out when it's time. The next phase on that, once I get a few of these mentees signed up, I want to encourage everybody. I want to build their confidence that you don't have to, quote unquote, have it figured out to start teaching and to start talking about it and to start making your own connections and building your own communities. So from the mentorship program, we are going to build our online classes program, our online workshops program, where the mentees that are getting that one-on-one, back and forth, spirit-led, general just mentorship, are going to be able to start teaching just kind of, I call them base level classes, 101 classes, to open up just general communication, general connection, online communities, things like that. From there, I'm also hoping to open up a practice reading program, which I don't have as many details about, but I've toyed around with practice readings in the past and just different methods of getting people practice and what works. So that is the 3-part plan. Right now, we are on phase 1. We are on building that mentee mentorship program. So look out for the official application for that when it's time. Now let's talk funding. Where does the temple get its money from? Well, it doesn't. As I am growing this, as I'm making it more legit, the overhead cost is also growing. It happens. That's how a business works, right? So I have been also, as Bruja Bones, as my individual self, Bruja Bones, I've been working here and there. I mentioned the classes that I was teaching for a while. I mentioned some other projects I had going on. I have my first Of the Gods series story being released on my Patreon. It should have already been released by the time this video hits. If not, it's coming very, very soon. So you can purchase any of the merch that I have going on. That'll all support the temple. And it'll also support my trip to Sacred Spaces Conference coming up in September. It will just help to fund that as well. And a number of our programs, like the mentorship and the reading program, those will be paid programs as well. So the majority of the money paid for those programs will go to the mentor or the reader themselves, and the temple will take just a very small amount off of the top, whatever is worked out between myself and whoever the reader or the mentor is. So we get a little bit of money when you book sessions through the temple. But other than that, I will put the links for donations. If you guys could donate just here and there, if my content has been so helpful, if the Patreon has been super helpful this month, if you guys want to donate, I will put all of the links for donations in the chats. That is all I have for right now. Of course, there's a number of other just business paperwork things I need to get together. So bear with me as I pull it all together, as I make this the legit amazing thing that I see in my brain. And thank you guys so much for your support. I have the most amazing team of volunteers. I would not be able to have gotten to this point without both my volunteers and all the support from you guys. You guys give me life. I don't know how else to say how important you are to you other than you fuel me. And I don't do things unless I feel like I'm being filled up by them. And you guys are literally doing that. You are filling me up. You are giving me life. You are giving me the energy to keep doing this. And I love you guys for it. And I love this community that we were building. Thank you so much for your support.